where today we're going to be cooking some dried beans. The dried beans, like so, you need to put them onto soak from the night before. So this is my dried beans that so you can either do it as vegetarian or you can do it with some meat. You can do it with diced meat, which I normally do, but these are with bones. They taste quite nice and people tend to like it, having it with a bony meat on them. So I'll be cooking there, and we're just going to be needing an onion as well. So once you put your dried beans from overnight into water and let it soak up, the next day we're just going to wash this now and put clean water and start boiling it. As soon as it comes to boil, I'm going to change the water again and then put it back on again. So let's put our beans on to boil. Okay, so once you've washed and re-put on your beans to boil, and it starts to boil, you want to rinse it now. You want to empty it all out, rinse it and put cold water on top again and bring it back to boil again. So I'm just going to change the water, put some more clean water and bring it back to boil. Okay, I've just rinsed it out again and put clean water. I'm going to bring it to boil again and do the same thing again, emptying it, putting clean water. The reason we do this is so that it's not too gassy. It's coming up to boil again, so I'm now going to rinse it out one more time and then put clean water and let it boil again, and then that will be the last time I'm going to change it. Every time it brings out froth, I'll be taking this froth off, but for now I'm just going to change the water and put it back on to boil. So I've now washed it for the second time and put it on to boil. While that's going to be boiling, I'm going to do my... Okay, while we're waiting for our beans to be cooked, we've already changed our water twice and now we'll put it back on to boil. I've got a pan here and I'm going to put some olive oil, and then I'm going to start frying my meat. Like I said, you can use diced meat cubes, but it does taste nice when you've got bony bits. So I'm just going to brown off my meat a little bit. So we'll just brown the meat off a little bit. Okay, so once your meat of your choice gets browned off a little bit, then what you want to do is add in 1 chopped onion. Stir fry your onions until they change colour. Okay, so your meat and your onions are browned off a bit, so now we need to take this off. We just want to wait until our beans are cooked so that we can add them in. Keep an eye on it, take out all this froth that it brings, and if it needs water, just keep an eye on it and add more water into it until you just test them, and by pressing your fingers at the moment they're too hard, and then when they get softened up, that's when we need to take them off. So keep an eye out and just take off this froth as it brings out froth. Right, so as you can see now, our beans are getting a little bit softer. So if you were to pick one up, it's hot, but if you were to pick one up and just press it, they're becoming softer. Take it off and drain them, and then we'll add them into our mixture. Half cooked, so when you're pressing it down, they're breaking up easily. You want to add this into your meat and onions that we had. And just stir fry that just for a minute. And then what we want to do is put 1 tablespoon of tomato puree, and just stir that into it as well. Just toss that around for a minute as well. And once you mix it all in, you want to pour water, cover it up with water. Okay, now we want to bring this up for boil and then turn it down and just cook it on a very low heat, just simmering it away. So once it comes up to a boil, turn it down, put the lid on and just cook it away until it's all cooked. Checking on it occasionally, it might need to be adding more water, so just keep an eye on it. We're not going to put no flavouring in as yet. We're going to let it all cook away first of all, and then when it's nearly cooked, then we're going to add in our seasoning. But right now we just want to bring it up to boil, put the lid on and turn it down on a low heat and cook it that way. As you can see, it's coming up to boil now. This is where we put the lid on, turn it down on low heat and just let it simmer away until it's all cooked. It will thicken up and it will be really tasty. So, and then we'll add our flavouring once it starts to cook. So just okay, it's been cooking on there for about 45 minutes. Now these beans aren't the greatest ones that I've got. Some of them have melted away and some of them are still whole. Some of the beans you get really nice, and as soon as they have one boil they're cooked. They'll still be cooked, but they're not as nice. We're just going to put our seasoning in there. I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt, black pepper and a bit of chili flakes. Obviously you put in as much or as little as you want. And there, it's getting thicker, as you can see it. I'm still going to put the lid on back on again and just let it simmer away. Just needs to be cooked a little further, but now we've got the seasoning in. Okay, this is our dried beans now that's been cooking away. It's been on over an hour, just on a very slow, very low heat, simmering away. If you've got a slow cooker, it's ideal to put this in a slow cooker in the morning and just let it simmer away. It tastes so much nice. The slower it cooks, the tastier it is. Now we're just going to go ahead and dish up our dried beans. So here we are. This is dried beans with meat. I've used meat with bones this time, but you can do just chopping up some diced meat. Diced lamb really goes nice. So it's a bit hot. I love it. I hope you give it a go. Let me know how you get on. Like I said, it all depends on the beans that you use. Some beans are really quick and easy to cook. I think I'm just going to add a little bit more salt into mine, but apart from that it's lovely. And I also made this couscous rice next to it, which I've also got a video on my channel. So this is it. Until next time guys, take care. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you have. Please let me know how you get on. Till next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.